Greetings from the Friday Night Lights edition of the Hostage Diaries on 11/7, the Omega to 7/11. So, today, Snake Eyes was a Nicolas Cage, one of the altered dimensional celestial sirens, sparkles in the point of lights. So today, I am going to try and probably reiterate many parts of my vast theoretical connotations of captivity, motivations. Well, rather than, it seems like I've got to try to figure a way out, even though I can't even afford to go out and get, it's a stretch. But that's the crazy zany part about the handicapping, which seems to be a very vital, prevalent issue. That's one of the reasons they also drag me around it's the bubble boy immunity. Symbiosis, because my immune system has been hijacked and stolen and given away to frauds, who then use that as a weapon to bury the victim's source of their they get a lot of benefits off of me. So yeah, immunity system. My immunity system is one of the worst. It's like I go down Moses. Yeah, I go down on everything. The Lewinsky Beauty Shop there. Slick Willie Morris bribes to utilize my assets. The crazy part about it is the estate that I'm attempting to manage. It's theoretical, not really. I mean, there's a plot. I mean, my theories make a lot of sense. They're not really theories. It's just a alternative way of managing an estate. So this vast, no fences territory that is being undermined from many different parameters and butchered and sliced, and while the weeds are growing up and it's getting wild and crazy. So yeah, handicapping. So the infectious disease immunity system, blah blah blah. So if I encounter anything, and they'd like to drag me around to some of the worst possible scenarios. So let's say I am dragged around to this low prices. They want to get them. It's all about spread. They want to spread those legs apart so they can go to town and screw it. So yeah, as low as possible, and then the difference is distributed to the matrix, Magic Kingdom, the goodies, the goodie room. Les Grossman, yeah, they love the goodie room, and the cash machine pays for it. Cash is easy. Money is easy for certain people that are in the if you're within certain parameters. But yeah, so the infectious immunity disease is handicapping me, so therefore I lose. I always lose. That's the MythBusters, making me pay for being uppity. They're trying to cut the sirens so that the alarms are flashing. Hey, look, there's something wrong here, flashing sirens. So they're trying to use me as a hostage shield. They're trying to cut the sirens so they can bury the bodies in their wells and utilize the addictive flow siphon on many levels. So yeah, today so my immunity system sucks. I lose to everything. I go down on everything. The house always loses and I always pay off. But the real thing is it's really just a diversion tactic to what's really going on. Like I said, I'm stuck down in this low level of the dungeon where in actuality I'm powering many sedimentary caste systems that are going above me. So I'm paying for the whole system. I'm not able to manage it. No fences, wildlife. Sportsman's paradise. So they figure they're going to use me as a max wave profits. So the lower they drag me, the more I pay because I always lose. They figure ways to rig it that way. I mean, it's just that's the crazy, crazy, crazy part about it. Even though it makes no fiscal sense, makes no you can't accountability for it other than paying for a Mardi Gras party from God. Makes no sense at all. So, yep, today I'm going to talk about the SYN charge card. SYN charge card. Daredevil games. And this is all going back to the big V, where rather than a pyramid, which is proper structure stable, they've got a canyon, a Cannery Canyon, but in actuality, the canyon, the Weevil Canyon, they're trying to, it's even an elevated canyon. And so that's the leg spreader martini there, martini glasses, SYN industry. Um, so yeah, I'm always on the bottom, and they go both ways. Spread Eagle martinis, which is a total inversion from reality, like on the dollar bill. So, yeah, there are all sorts of loopholes, and all this is trying to do is validate itself legally within the parameters of this inner space. So you've got all sorts of strange parameters. But what they're trying to do is justify. It's like the whole thing doesn't make any sense at all. But they're trying to justify. There's competition within the matrix to justify their math using me as the co-signature for these cosplay playboys. And yeah, they wear the masks. They got tons of masks. Love the masks and all the poses. It goes back to Mardi Gras. But Mardi Gras never. The thing about Mardi Gras is you have Lent after 40 days. This party never ends. I pay for it. That's where you get into the SYN charge card. They figure ways and they charge me for everything. And you got on one side you got the good, the people that are going to church and doing the right thing. Then you got the demons. Whereas in actuality, the demons have gone crazy because rather than allowing me to manage the demon estate, be the officer, as you would Smokey the Bear, I'm unable to. I pay for the party. So there's a whole inversion there. So what they do is they're actually, yeah, I could play both sides good and bad relatively easily as an officer. BLM, Better Plan Management, but I'm not able to. So, goes back to the mighty V there, which is huge. Martini V, vodka, whatever you want to call it. And they try to justify it with St. Jean DNA. Junior varsity, Friday Night Lights, there we are. Free light, solar, it doesn't cost anything. It's dark, but it's solar. That's a dome, the dome. Yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. And well, the way they justify it is through magic. The magic uniforms, the magic rings, the magic helmets, the magic games, the magic networks, all these sorts of magic. So then they charge, it just goes way over and over. The problem is the estate is being massive. And they don't care. They really honestly don't care. They think it's the spoils of victory for their heist and all this sort of stuff, but it's really, really bizarre. You have to blame the global network for not doing anything, but nobody, it just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, Agony and the Ecstasy, SYN charge cards. But they play again, it's double penetration. They penetrate every way possible. And the problem is, like I said, the demons are trying to play this like, well, we're doing this for the people that are being good, but in actuality, it's a domestic concern spending $1 which is not necessarily cohesive with. So then, therefore, it takes a total. That's why the media, being a part of this, is accomplices so desperately necessary. They are highly addicted to you. So the SYN charge card. And so not only do I like provide, it's what it is. It's like a key or a magic power, potency. What gives the potency or the proof of the whatever benefits. And what they've done is they've taken a like a spirit and they amplify it, and I pay for the amplification. But then also, in order to hide the fact that this is highly illegal, they make me pay for the degradation, the cost. So drinking causes brain damage, let's say, or and also it gives you a hangover. And so what happens is not only do I, by my no fences estate providing free, they pay off these. It really is. The bootleggers don't really. It's truly moonshine. Really, they don't pay for the cost of the magic based upon. Well, they pay the state, but the state is not necessarily. The state is being degradational, or they pay the producers. But in actuality, the estate is being massacred. And that leaves a lot of rooms to exploit. So, the SYN industry. So not only do I get the hang of it, they want to screw me as bad as possible. So I pay for the hooch, which creates this mutated party society. Then I suffer the hangover effects of it. Or it's like cigarettes, the Marlboro Man. That I pay for the all rather than every individual paying the system itself. They make me my estate pays for the smokers. It's very bizarre. So my estate actually gets the brain damage and tumors and cancers because of the no fences, wild, crazy, zany, solidified um, factions within these mob factions are really tumors, which threaten my estate because I have been shrunk. I am not allowed to grow up. I gotta stay small. Handicapped. They handicapped me small. They gotta protect. I gotta turn the other cheek. Turn. So they've got to. Yeah, I've got to stay small because if I grow up, I might escape, and they might lose their SYN charge cards, and they might have to pay back and they might have to pay. And that's where you get into the crazy playing all the sides really poorly. I mean, they are really playing these sides bad. I mean, it's just absolutely horrific. So yeah, the agony and the ecstasy. So therefore, it's a filter. I'm a filter for these SYN charge cards. Synthetic. See, they amplify the synthetic mutant. Amplify by shrinking me down. It leaves a lot of raw material, so then it makes them grow bigger. So when they grow bigger, the effects of the hooch is even greater because they're at a higher rank. So that's where you get into at the higher rank, the amplification is exponentially greater, and the cost is actually off. So the higher the rank, the exponentially the ecstasy is that much stronger, the dope dose is that much stronger, and the cost to the overall system is see, that's the problem with the V system. They've elevated, like, okay, in a pyramid, upside down pyramid, the top level is, you've got millions of people at this very, very high level. So then let's say you got 1,000,000 people with an exponent times exponent to the 10th power. So you got 1,000,000 individuals exponent to the 10th power. Whereas the one, if you were like this, you'd have a few at the top that were able to exponentially gradually. So when you got the V, the exponential cost is cataclysmic because of you've got so many people at this inverted pyramid, top of the steep, to the exponential cost. Because the higher you are, it exponentially costs more. It's like a penthouse. Penthouse costs a ton. It's not like it's even worse than a high rise. Because the cost of in a high rise building is relatively within a framework. We're talking, this is a lot worse than that even. You got me at the bottom contributing trillions to a bunch of competitors, and they're gamers. They're Game Boy. They must be the top. You know, they call this competition, even though the dollar has a pyramid on it. But this is an inverted pyramid, V scheme. So you've got a ton of people on the top that are fighting. People all within this are fighting to get to the top so they can get the exponential rank magic superpowers. But it costs a ton. And so I pay by suffering at the bottom, getting screwed from both sides, the good and the bad. There's all sorts of ways of. I mean, it's actually a lot of different inverted pyramids. There's lots of different inverted pyramids, and each one has different meanings within each one. But they seem to factor me in as a key maker because, and they use me. They can use other people, but because they want me to hate my name, hate myself, self-hating. Because in actuality, they're illiterate. And they hate the fact that they're illiterate, so I have to be empathetic, and they can't count. It's like that movie, the Dictator movie with Sacha Baron Cohen, where he used the same word for positive and negative as Aladdin. That's what's going on here. It's a miracle exponent. So they can fill in anything. Gene splice, make everything. It's like Jurassic Park, same thing. They factor in this gene splice that derives its exponential valuation through the periodic table. The atomic weights are different, so exponents would be like an atomic weight. So sometimes it might be an atomic weight of 10, 20, 30, 40. Sometimes it might be a radioactive 100, that which is an exponential value drain upon the raw material. No fence is a state. So, that's why I'm here on a Friday Night Live. Not to mention I've been castrated. Sucks balls. Brewers brew. Is it another word for erectile dysfunction? I don't drink. I would like to drink. I can't afford to go out and drink right now. I would very, very much like. I would probably not be so pissed off if I was able to afford to drink. Probably be good for me, but I can't afford to. So, but instead, since all the brothers out there have their heavy, heavy drink on their body, they drink a ton, but they don't want the bad effects. That's the Agony XTC. So I get the. That's why I get the bad effects for that. I got a terrible liver. My head is all fucked up. And I got brewer's drink, which is the term used. It's a slang term. There was actually Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits who was a band. So yeah, the brewers comes into the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll get into a little numerology. It being a holy craps holiday. 7-11, 11-7. Today, November 7th. So, yeah, brewers brew. So I get the agate. This is just an example. Then again, it also goes into the Trojan Army. Plastics. That's your SYN charge card. Your Trojan Army. And you got Church and Dwight. They're probably throwing a free religion there with the Church and Dwight making owning Trojan. And also the New Jersey Devils, all that sort of thing, which is in Princeton. So, yes, Brewers can't get it. I can't afford to get it up. I can't afford friends. Can't afford to go out. I'm not invited to parties where I meet people. I have to try to go hustle and hunt. Crazy. Whereas it's the total opposite. It's all based upon the worship of an illegal genetic hack. Go with me in the Smoothie King hamburger van. And then you got your Almighty Jesus God tattoo there. That's your Matrix TI. And then I did buy this. I don't know how effective it is. This I got on the internet. It is Alpha Omega symbol, which I am an Alpha, and I was hacked Omega. But see, it's not as permanent as the Omega tattoo. I would like to get the tattoo. Never been able to afford it. So, yeah, Never, and I honestly think that's one of the reasons that I have been forced for. These psychotic um, kidnappers is what they are, basically. Their god is this tattoo. It gives them the right. We're blood brothers. You know, that's better than blood. Well, when you factor in birth certificates and driver's license and all that, the civic, that's one of the reasons I am forced as the law is used as a weapon against me. And that's why you're in this Cash Money Brothers scheme. And that's why they are illiterate. And there is a war going on between the English language and code. Cash Money Brothers. There literally is a war. World War III will be fought between the language and code. Um, and the validation for code is the utilization in so many aspects of life, and it generates a ton of wealth. That's your whole Facebook phenomenon. That's one of the historical things about what happened between Facebook and Harvard, being Princeton. So yeah, historically, look back at that. Eventually, it's like the wave above the tsunami, which is being driven by these scars and these hats, these tattoos. There's all sorts of things driving this tsunami wave, which is drowning. Eventually, though, it'll have to correct itself. They're holding it right now, but eventually it ebbs back down. Eventually, the accountability. But they're going to try to hold it. They're trying. That's what the Viagra marathon is. They're going to keep that hard on going. Really, what's going on is keep this high tide. They're trying to. I mean, they want to. It really is. It's this high tide. It seems to never end. So yeah, I'm trying to to get back into it and to start to balance the equation, but I am not allowed. So yeah, we'll have to see what actually happens with the viability. So it's really, really bizarre to try to figure out. There, I mean, there are blatant attempts. I mean, they are. People want me dead. They are calculate. If it is a calculated murder, they want me to never escape. They are very, very fearful of me escaping. So that's one of the reasons they have wasted. And they had to get to the point where, and they knew what they were doing. I've been trying to escape for many, 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 many years. And to tamper with the jury to give me the max penalty, Omega boy. Well, again, psychotic kidnapper terrorist rules, Dungeon Master games. Um, they have to wait until the public becomes as vengeful as possible. So I could have escaped 2005. I could have escaped in the mid 1990s, but I was sabotaged and attacked. So yeah, but instead, so now I've waited unprepared. I am not prepared. I am making golden parachutes and lifeboats for tons and tons of sacred livestock. That's my job. I make golden parachutes and I make lifeboats in this casino V for all these sacred life. The padding tons. They're padding a ton. They're getting fat. In case the worst happens, they can jump ship. I can't go in. Hell, I can't go. I'm less miles in my bubble right now. My bubble boy. Can't go anywhere. Do not have, can't go out and have a drink. I've got to suffer the hangover, but I can't go out and enjoy the fun. It's part of the agony and ecstasy. I mean, it's really, well, when you can take a shot of whiskey and give it the effects of having like ecstasy, that's the whole amplification of these ranks. So yeah, you take somebody, you amplify them up the ladder here to this heavy, high, and then you just give them a shot of whiskey. That shot of whiskey then is amplified to have the same effects as taking an ecstasy pill. Representational, of course. This is all, that's why they worship the representational system. So, yeah, they are addicted to the game. This whole game grid, which I power. I was working on a store today where I was a giant, and it goes back to I went in. There's this spicy tea store, and I think what I've got here, Florida sauce, but then on the back, nutritional info and more spice and tea. So yeah, spice and tea is in the Sun Trust building on Broughton Street, Broughton, right across from the Panera Bread, and kind of right there. The Sun Trust is on Bull Street at Broughton, across from Gin and Friends, where I would like to be drinking a martini, but I can't afford one. So yeah, the Levy Jewel right there also. Big fancy jewel store, but way, way, way out of my levy league. Me being a water boy, levy, water boy. See, Omega watch, Mont Blanc watch, $1 million bill. Running for B. Hayes. Yeah. So the thing about in Mont Blanc being, that's what's going on. Then I got this mountain girl trying to explain myself, hard of hearing, and I'm a strange fault in that whole moment. So yeah, the mountain has been drawn upon so much. It's like a charge card. I'm just gonna keep charging and charging and charging. Each little line is a charge. Line of code for these game addicts. The creationists, the creators, and I just supply the raw land. That's my vast, vast, vast global estate, which I am used because they want the max value. I am the VIP penthouse suites. They want the best. That's why I am used. And it's like you get it's like oh, this is something I read today. Louisiana, Louisiana, 513, Cincinnati, Ohio, Cincinnati Reds, Ottoman Empire, Ohio. I came up with all these bizarre, like Ottoman, OLO. So that's a whole reason. So Cincinnati Reds, Cincinnati Bearcats, and Macy's Red Star, Kroger. So the yeah, 513, but they convert the 513 into 414, 504, which means you transfer, you put a big zero in there, transfer the 504 into IANA, which deals something with computer domains. I can't remember exactly, but they justify it. As long as this stays hidden, underworld, as long as it's in the underworld, the dungeon, Wizards of the Coast dungeons, it's crazy. Thank you. They would probably call me crazy. And they have. Or even thinking about it, even though it's just a theory. Even though I believe there's something to it. So they transferred the 504 or 513 into 414. So they keep moving. That's a map. 414 Milwaukee. South by Southwest, 6 times 6, 9, equals 414. Then you go to 4114, which is all 4114 all. Covalent bonds become 414. So you got these ties there. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So LOUI. We French. Lie. Lies. L-Y. Lies. Which is there is actually a district in France called Lies. L-E-S. As you would. And it is directly connected to, it tied into LeBlanc. There was a place called LeBlanc there. And it's just these strange connectivities that tend to happen. get back to Bleu de Sel. Bleu de Sel. Mont Blanc. Le Blanc meaning white is what you want. What it is it's an untouched page. You've got a page of paper and you can write what you want on it. And turning that writing into cash is the key. That's what I am used for. Anybody, you can chop down a tree, Louisiana Pacific Tigers, or Georgia Pacific, and you can turn that paper into gold somehow. I just happen to be one, because of my new IP 10 house keys, have a vast, untapped, virgin forest to turn into cash. So, yeah, Spice and Tea Store in the SunTrust building. Spice was always, it was in the old world, it was a form of currency trade. So somehow the magic of these spices is derived from the SunTrust. Even though I can't even afford to go have a martini, and I'm certainly not invited to anything, dinner, never been invited to a dinner here, never been invited to a party here. But somehow they're too proud. They've got to protect themselves. Or this, who knows? They've got my sister. They play sides against my sister, who's not bright enough to ask questions. She accepts the world as she sees it. Well, she doesn't. We don't have. That's one of the reasons I was shrunk so small. If I was bigger and stronger, they might have more confidence. But instead, we're a little bitty, small, shrunk. So they're kind of worried about themselves, their life. They have their lives and their families they have to worry about. So yes, this magic spot, Frankie, dude. So when you put that onto me or something, does that transfer the magic of the SunTrust? But not for me, because I'm the Omega. Remember, with me, it's always pay. I pay everything. Before you get into the Ashton Kutcher $2.5 million hardware, I do not get any. I pay for everything because I get no benefit at all. Parasites everywhere. They figured out ways. They just filled me full of parasite love. Everything goes somewhere else. So yeah, that's my theory of the day question. And it's a Stretch Armstrong extreme. They want the values. And I don't understand. Well, Savannah really screwed up because they had a blank slate, but they decided to side with Louisiana, or the Baton Rouge crew, I guess. The new mayor of Aspen is called Scatron. So they are united in Aspen. They stole that from me. I guess, who knows? So yeah, they diverted to this party buffet, which then, when your body grows based on body mass index, and then I guess it's a transfer of value based upon these ranks. Because I'm just very low rank now on the ski bottom. So my body mass, it's what a penny a pound, even though I'm actually paying billions and billions I pay out, pay billions and billions, but when you actually kept, because of all the hacks, it looks like that's the duality of who you actually are and who you're hacked in the system. I was beaten my entire life. I was brainwashed to be shrunk, smaller and smaller and smaller. My entire life. Not only mentally was I brainwashed to be a hostage, or in actuality, I was just brainwashed to be normal. I was raised like normal lifestyle. Problem was, I did my own research. I started figuring out something the fuck's wrong here. This isn't right. It's too many. I started putting all these pieces together, and they will not let me. What fame is Almighty God. So they've got this inability. I do not have the resource. I mean, that's the big joke. I'm sitting on probably a Fortune 500 corporation, easily a Fortune 500, but they want to destroy me. So they torture me. I'm tortured and tortured for so many years to self-destruct. And that's one of the reasons. The game, I'm tortured to be worse and worse and worse and worse and worse while the game's getting cleaner and cleaner. So all these cats out there that I pay for, I power and pay the Louis Vuitton cats who have learned to play the game. See, most people have some sort of balance. That's me, the Lords of Dogtown. I got the brain cancer, Sid Barrett. I'm being cut out. They're cutting me out because I was dosed so heavy. I got dosed with all these hacks. They were doping me, giving me these crazy, making me fucking me up because they get the ecstasy, I get the agony. So they give me the worst part of the dope, all this dope. And there's a ton of dope. Virtual reality, squid dope, calamari, Strange Days, Cat Bigelow, James Cameron. Yeah, the squid dope, where it's virtual reality, Matrix, persona. So yeah, I get the worst part of it, and therefore it fucks me up. I get the burnt like the Sid Barrett, fucked up, way overdosed, because they get the pure uncut. It's like getting really, really good shit. They get the good dope. They don't have any bad effects. They program the dope, filter their virtual reality matrix dope lives. They filtered out all the bad things. But in order to shrink me down, because I pay for so much of it, they've got to fuck me up. So they use it as a weapon. They like the dirty dope. When I get the dirtiest of the dirty, they get the good dirty. It's like the hot. It's all about the interpretation. There you go, once again. Omega watches. They had that option. They gambled. The dumbasses gambled on Omega watch. They wanted, and that's where you get into. They went overboard on the hacks. They just went way overboard. They had that option. They refused. They wanted to max the Stretch Armstrong. Get the max to play. And that, I mean, it's really gotten so far out of hand. Nobody's in control of anything. Nobody is. I mean, it's absolutely. And I mean, it's truly one of the worst cases of hate in the history of the world. They hate me like a price tag. That's what it is. They can't afford the life that they've lived. Yet they've got to keep up the game. The player haters, or the payer haters. The players are payer haters. So yeah, I'm like the bank officer saying, "You want another loan on your 10th mortgage on my house? You're occupying my fucking house. You have hijacked and kidnapped me, occupied my house, and you want to take another cash mortgage on my house?" And that's what's going on. When you got a gun to my head, that's the crazy part. They hate me like a bank officer who has the power to deny them a 10th mortgage on the occupied shares of my house. Well, we own 10% of your acre. We own 0.001% of your house. As one of the brothers, we're family. Because we got tattoo inks. That's family. We're good as blood, bro. So yeah, we got our shares in your house. We're going to take a 10th mortgage on it. And we're occupying it. We're holding you hostage to co-sign while we got our cosplay uniform, masks, and all that sort of thing. Yeah, crazy thing. The world has got to be gone. What's got to be happening is the United States has got to be playing. Well, it's going to happen anyway. There's going to be a huge account that you're going to pay for history. The lessons in history degrees are going to haunt the world. They're going to make you go back and pay reparations. That's what's going on. They're making me right now pay for the pets and the slaves. I mean, 40 acres in a mill is Louisiana and France. And France won't lift a fucking finger because they won't break they're stuck within their. But the Yankees think that they can pay off their pets with my loot. That's what they're doing right now. I'm paid. Crazy. This doesn't make any sense. When I'm not allowed to manage my state. Doesn't make any sense. So yeah, hope all the hookers are real happening tonight for all the Playboy players out there. But I can't even afford them, can you? Because I gotta be empathetic fed. What fucking crazy. Oh yeah, it gets into the idolatry. So this is the part of the crazy Christians that I don't understand. You've got a bunch of these Christians, they're idolaters. They really are. The Christians actually worship these token idols over me. And so if anything happens to these token idols, they use me to pay as compensation. That's crazy stupid. That's a cardinal sin. You do not charge it. I mean, that's the crazy part. Good cop, bad cop, and everything in between. Doesn't make any sense at all. And the demons are doing the dirty work because rather than me being able to control them or manage them to keep them in order, instead they're allowing these massive corporations in the crooked law, the illiterate crooked law, and these the corporations are uncontrollable. I was supposed to be able to control these massive energy companies, massive corporations. They're gone. Right now, they can leave the United States. The United States couldn't do anything. So the United States has to suck their cock at every turn. They've got to, they got to keep them happy. One of the reasons that's one of the reasons that the United States the only course of action is to attack the world. They've got to alienate the world. That way, they're building their fence. There are no fences. Tractor being force field means to piss off the entire world. Dude. So if you leave, you might pay. So they got to. That's how that's the anti-Casablanca thing. So like in Casablanca, when everybody was leaving Europe because of the war, we were worried about all the wealthy jumping ship. So they got to keep them as happy as possible. And they use me to keep the wealthy as happy as possible. But when they're doing this, they're alienating the world. And so you got these struggles going on right now. So rather than me preparing for my estate for the future, my estate is trash. Just weeds and wilds and vines and just crazy chaos. Then you got a bunch of plastics and you got companies and all. There is no order at all. So I mean, it's just crazy stupid. Doesn't make any sense at all. They want me dead. I mean, it is one of the worst hate. These people hate me so bad. They want me to suffer the most so they can make they figure out. And I'm not real. I mean, I don't suffer that much as far as. But when you look at what I'm losing out on, I'm losing out on billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, literally. And to where I cannot afford to go have a drink. I cannot legit. I really can't afford to go have a drink. That would be a big hit on my budget. I mean, it would be a massive because I just can't afford to. So I mean, it's that. I mean, I'm giving away. I'm losing billions and billions and billions, and they're pissed off that they are addicted to me. They are addicted to me, and they want I can't even have. I've always wanted a doll. Never been able to have one. Never been able to afford one. I can't have kids. Castrate because my brothers want a penile enlargement. So they castrate me and share my cock, and then they separate it, and it goes into, gives them 2 extra inches to make their bitches scream, oh my God! And that's me, the G-spot, the magic G-spot. Just fucking crazy, And then, if you shoot somebody, you better fucking do something about it. That's the funny part. It's a bunch of guys that decided, we're going to shoot this motherfucker like Johnny Cash. Shot a man to see him die. Well, I'm not dead yet. They want me dead. They're hoping they can't kill me. If I get murdered, there might be an investigation. So I have to get, that's why I'm on a fight. They want me to get hit. It's got to be either suicide or an accident. If I've even gotten a note in my wallet that if I am killed in murder investigation, because they've got to keep it clean because there's so many fraud scams. If they start digging, then I mean, who knows where it might be uncovered. So yeah, I mean, they were talking about these people really, really hate me, and I've gotten along with all sorts. When I was in high school, I had friends that were Mexican, I had friends that were African American, I had friends that were Oriental. I dated girls from all nationalities. I had all sorts of things. When I was in Dallas, I've had friends from all over the world. I mean, probably worked with people from 75 countries, I would say. I don't know exactly. And so there is absolutely. So they've got to figure out whenever I do something, any string that's a rebuttal, and I pay for it with time. I always have to let them their rebuttal to my string. That's called the fairway that's the Omega Fairway Handicap rebuttal. So any strings have got to torture me to do something wrong. So I'm giving it doesn't and time does not matter. They'll waste my entire life. That would be even better because they've stolen my wallet and they're spending on it. So yeah, their rebuttal time is party time. That's their big party opportunity for them to go on the spending spree on me while they get to rebuttal for Jesus or whoever, whatever God they're praying to, or the country or their loyal patriot, whatever. It's always something. So they've got to torture me to alienate. It's always there's a picture of me resting my hand on my chin. They took on a Christmas morning. My mother and my stepfather have it somewhere in our pile of stuff, and it's like a repetitive uppercut to hitting myself. That's the joke. That's the kind of Muppet interpretation of how it is. Something that sort of crazy, zany dungeon master wizards that can torture me. So, while I'm losing billions of dollars, which is infuriating. Or if my challenge is, let's take a rich person, somebody who's used to having everything, a millionaire, a multimillionaire, and then let's make them wait. Go to a restaurant and sit them in a room for 4 or 5 hours while they're watching people that they know don't have reservations go through. Make them sit there and watch and see the reaction. This is just one. Imagine 10 years of doing this, or 20 years. Oh yeah, that sort of thing. Or that's just one term. And see how mad they get in the reaction. So what they're doing now is because you've got to have a stiff upper lip, or you've got to watch. You got to be able to control. I'm not able. I get no balance in my life. If something goes wrong, usually people have a balance mechanism. I'm sick. I fall over because I have brain cancer and I'm going to die for the Lords of Dogtown, Lod Cook Tigers. Lod Cook was the CEO of ARCA, Atlantic Richfield, which sponsors a big building at the Aspen Institute. I had a girlfriend who was graduating from LSU and going to law school. And I went to her graduation, and the speaker was Lod Cook. And so LSU built this huge alumni center for Lod Cook, the Lod Cook Center, and there's also a big Lod Cook hotel. So that's the Lords of Dogtown, Lod. So yeah, I'm Sid Barrett. Got to live with my mother, going crazy from all the doses of the bad LSD that I was forced upon. That was put into my system, or whatever, all the crazy dope that I've been force fed in this virtual reality matrix with. So yeah, I'm the Sid from Lords of Dogtown. Was never one of the great skateboarders who was their friend. He was the rich kid. There's so many levels of me getting fucked. Literally, the outsiders, soda boy, soda pop, Rob Lowe. Um, so yeah, there's so many. So Sid had balance problems. He used to fall over, and this all goes back to when I fell and hit my head as revenge. I have to my entire life. That was a permanent mark that ruined my entire life. Crazy. I'm not able to heal. Bubble boy immunity system. My immunity system was stolen. So my immunity system does not heal. I have no balance. So if something bad happens to me, usually people have balance mechanisms. That's the alpha omega. Me trying to balance my equilibrium. Instead, it's always piling on, piling on. I had no balance, no foundational structure. Lone Star, Home Lone Star, man. Kevin McAllister, Party Monster, Macaulay Culkin. So yeah, I have no balance, so it just keeps getting amplified. It's an infected wound. I have a lot of infected wounds, and they keep getting worse and worse and worse. There's no immunity. There's no healing. There's sacred wounds. So that's the whole turn the other cheek. Bo Turner. See, thrashing. Bo Turner, Turner Field. Ted Turner, cable guy. Um, Beastie Boys licensed to ill communication sabotage. So yeah, he owned the Thrashers and they moved to Winnipeg. Al Bundy. So, Bud Bundy. Marcel Proust, Remembrances, 4 touchdowns in high school. So yeah, there was a movie called Thrashers. One of the Bad News Bears, Brett Marks. In Thrashers, he played a skateboarder named Bozo. So that's been me. The Daredevils tried to ride me. Sure, the Rider. Hard to handle. Black Crew's Rider. Band-Aids. No Band-Aids. Infected wounds. Infectious. Turn the other cheek means when somebody stabs me with a spear, when I get punctured in the matrix, you can't see this. When I get a wound, it stays a wound. It's a sacred well. They worship that well. So when I get stabbed, I gotta forgive them. Based upon this duality of this crazy loophole that I'm trying to fight. For the bad play against the good, even though the bad is crazy. So the infection was worse. My body is like Sonny Corleone. I've been stabbed and shot and speared so many times. The infections, you call them parasites as you would. It might just be infections bleeding out. So I'm hollow. Everything I eat, it's like a comic book. You know, when you see somebody who got shot a bunch of times, they take a drink and it spews out a bunch of holes. Like a comic. That's a myth, but that's reality. That's Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers. Wasted bourbon. Warner Brothers. Sad they're back. I sure could use a Pappy Van Winkle about now, bottle of it. That would wipe a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle would wipe out my entire savings. Even though I think I paid for a whole company. Sad they're back. So yeah, every sacred infected wound, brother. I mean, that's the crazy part about it. Money shot replacement. Seize the day. Boy, did they seize the day. Carpe diem. Just a absolute wacky. So yeah, torture. The rebuff of these infections. Because I always thought, I have no balance in my life. If they want me to disintegrate, like the Challenger, Prozac Nation, Jessica Lange, Magnolia Queen, American Horror Story, and Christina Ricci, the wacky girl, Prozac Nation, is in the hospital. Her mother gets mugged, and she's watching the Space Shuttle Challenge. I actually watched that at a guy named Turner's house. Space Shuttle Challenge. There's actually a bombardier from body has now a 650 Challenger. And the G650 Gulfstream, part of Truman is made here in Savannah. I sure would like one of those, but I couldn't even afford a hood ornament to wear around my neck. So, yeah, she gets mugged while the Challenger explosion is going on. So, yeah, they want me to disintegrate. They want me to break apart. They want me to self-destruct. That way, I save them because that's jury rigging, witness tampering. Because the rebuttal for any strength I have must be used against me. That's martial arts. That's in Karate Kids, Cobra Kai. Karate Kids, the Karate Kid Masters, Cobra Kai. Use my strength against me. That's the inversion effect. That's your reversal of fortune, omega inversion effect. So my muscle implodes upon me. So while I am distributing magnetism, I've got these forces that are pressing upon me, this immense pressure from all of these voodoo and all these hacks and all this other stuff that I am unable to escape based upon these sacred wounds and wills and hacks, turn over the other cheek, that I am unable to transcend. So then, therefore, distribution. So that'll be my left for tonight. Another wasted prime rib Friday. Happy Friday Night Light Solar.